What's up, legends? Welcome back to Tales of the Famous, the channel that steps beyond the highlight reels and into the shadowed corners of history, where icons face their final rounds not with crowds roaring, but with the quiet weight of a life fully lived. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We uncover these intimate, untold chapters every week. No filters, just truth. Today, we turn to a story that's equal parts heartbreak and heroism. The final days of Muhammad Ali, the man who didn't just fight in rings, but shook the world with his fists, his faith, and his unyielding fire. Imagine this. The greatest, the three-time heavyweight champ who floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee, who stared down governments and gravity alike, now silenced by a disease that stole his thunder but never his spirit. His last hours weren't a knockout spectacle. They were a whisper of endurance, a private battle in a Phoenix hospital room where monitors beeped like fading applause. From a standing ovation that felt like farewell to a heart that refused to quit for 30 minutes after everything else surrendered. This is the brutal, beautiful close of the greatest epic. We'll trace it hour by hour, drawing from family accounts, medical insights, and the echoes of those who held his hand till the end. Strap in. This isn't just a death. It's Ali's final rope-a-dope against mortality itself. Let's rewind to April and step into the quiet storm. April 9th, 2016. Phoenix, Arizona, the Valley of the Sun, where desert winds whisper secrets and luxury resorts gleam like mirages. Inside the JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort's Grand Ballroom, the air hums with a mix of clinking glasses, hushed conversations, and a faint scent of desert blooms mingling with catered elegance. It's the annual gala for the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center, a beacon of hope funded by the very man whose name it bears, turning his personal war into a global crusade. Supporters in tailored suits and flowing gowns gather. Philanthropists who've written checks, neurologists trading quiet breakthroughs, fans clutching faded posters from the Thrilla in Manila. The room's alive with stories, whispers of Ali's 1974 rumble in the jungle, his draft refusal that shook Washington, his Olympic torch lighting in '96 that trembled but never dropped. But tonight, anticipation carries a subtle ache. Ali's public appearances have thinned to threads, Parkinson's weaving its slow siege since '84. The lights dim just a touch. A hush ripples like a wave through 500 souls. Wheels whisper across polished floors. And there he is, wheeled in by his devoted wife, Lonnie, a pillar of quiet strength who's navigated his battles since '86. Muhammad Ali, 74 years young, but the weight of 32 Parkinson's years etched deep. Black suit hangs elegant yet loose on a frame once carved for conquest. Dark sunglasses shielding eyes that once locked Liston into legend. Hands rest passive on armrests. No more butterfly flutters, just stillness profound as a post-bell silence. The tremor that started subtle in the '80s, hands quivering mid-speech after beating Spinks for the title, has evolved into full betrayal. Voice a rasp where roars once reigned, gait a shuffle where dances defied gravity, swallow a labor where trash talk flowed free. Yet his presence? Electric relic, head tilts slight, acknowledging the room with that impish aura, the one that turned press conferences into poetry slams. No mic thrust, no I am the greatest thunder. Just a nod, subtle, seismic. The crowd rises as one, standing ovation crashing like Zaire's thunder, applause swelling to waves that crash against crystal chandeliers. Tears streak cheeks, strangers clasp hands. It's not pity, reverence. Ali, the man who shook up the world, now receives its gentle quake. Lonnie beams beside him, her hand steady on his shoulder, a partnership forged in '86 when she saw beyond the champ to the man. This isn't show, it's sacrament. 2 years prior, 2014's pneumonia scare, 2015's urinary tract siege. He'd skipped these nights, frailty barring the stage. Tonight, a deliberate dusk, his last public light, as family later reflected, a quiet bow to the fight that funded his fire. The ovation lingers, hearts heavy with unspoken goodbyes. Unaware, it's the final roar for the greatest. Parkinson's wasn't a late-round haymaker. It was a slow bleed, starting with a whisper in 1984, 3 years post-retirement after reclaiming the belt from Spinks in a New Orleans night that felt like fate's full circle. Ollie, 42 then, announces it himself. "I have Parkinson's syndrome." Voice steady but slurred at edges, the tremor in his right hand a faint betrayal during a presser where he still quipped about floating eternal. Doctors link it to ring wars. Over 29,000 punches absorbed, per estimates, from Liston's hooks to Frazier's fury in Manila's Thrilla Hell, where 107-degree heat turns sweat to steam and will to weapon. The disease, a neurological thief, robs dopamine's dance. Hands that pinned, "I'm the greatest," now flutter like trapped birds. Feet that shuffled rivals into oblivion drag in hesitant shuffles. Voice that rhymed clay beats Liston, fades to gravel whispers. By the 90s, public glimpses show the shift. 1996 Atlanta Olympics, torch trembling aloft but held high, a global gasp turning to thunderous awe. Lonnie becomes guardian. Marries him 86, builds the Ollie Center in Louisville 05 as Resilience HQ, turns pain to purpose with the Parkinson's Center funding trial from stem cells to deep brain stimulation. Battles mount. 2014 pneumonia lands him in Phoenix ICU, tubes snaking like ropes he once dodged. Recovery a shadow. Weeks bettered in, voice further frayed. 2015 UTI follows, fever raging, hospital haze blurring days. Each rally dims the light, swallowing labored, meals pureed, mobility a wheelchair's mercy, speech reduced to nods and notes. Yet spirit? Unbowed. Ollie attends 12 London Olympics as flag bearer, frailty veiled in dignity, pins notes of faith, God is the greatest, that outpunch any jab. Family circles tight, Lonnie's steel, daughters Hannah and Layla, his boxing air, channeling fire, sons navigating legacy's load. Parkinson's claims the vessel, but not the vessel's captain. Ali's will, that nation of Islam forged flame, renamed 64 by Elijah Muhammad, mainstream Sunni by 75 under Wallace Dean, flickers defiant. Its endurance poetry, the greatest who refused Vietnam draft, 67, no quarrel with Viet Cong, now drafts against decay, turning tremors to testimony. Monday, May 30th, 2016. Scottsdale, Arizona, suburban sprawl, baking under relentless sun, but inside Honor Health Scottsdale Osborne Medical Center, a chill settles. What starts as routine, a nagging respiratory hitch, breath shallow as a sigh, spirals. Ali's lungs, scarred from decades of rope-a-dope gasps and Manila marathons, rebel. Infection creeps, fever simmers low. No sirens, no spectacle, just Lonnie's quiet call to doctors, a precaution born of pattern. By evening, he's wheeled in, fair condition per initial charts, antibiotics drip, monitors hum hopeful. Family exhales. Bob Gunnell, spokesman and steadfast sentinel, tells press, "We expected him to bounce back." Muhammad has battled many times before. Optimism clings like morning mist. After all, the greatest has danced through worse. 74's year rope-a-dope draining foreman. 78 Spinks rematch reclaiming glory at 36. 80's Parkinson's reveal met with trial from God. But beneath, unease stirs. Breathing labors, chest tightens like a vice. Each inhale a skirmish. Treatments tweak. IVs flow. Oxygen whispers. Yet response lags. Unlike past pneumonias that yielded to will and meds. Doctors confer in hushed tones. Sepsis lurks, that silent assassin turning immune warriors rogue. Organs caught in crossfire. Ali's frame, once 220 pounds of coiled thunder, now frail at 74. Parkinson's toll amplified by age's quiet theft. Night deepens. Family gathers piecemeal. Lonnie vigilant, children en route. Monitors beep steady, but shadows lengthen. This isn't retreat, it's rally's edge. Tuesday bleeds into Wednesday. Condition holds fair, but fissures widen. Fever spikes erratic. Blood pressure dips like a fading jab. Antibiotics assault. But sepsis, triggered by urinary tract routes per some reports, spread stealthy, organs straining under onslaught. Lungs falter first. Oxygen sats waver. Breaths ragged as post-thriller heaves. Kidneys protest. Filtering falters. Liver, that silent sentinel, signals distress. Doctors pivot. Vent support ramps. Fluids flood. Gunnel updates measured. Stable. Responding. But private? Lonnie hears the shift. Tones soften to serious. Plans pivot from discharge to sustain. Children arrive. Hannah, the firebrand daughter, author of his heart. Mariam, spirituality guide. Rashida, twin scribe of family lore. Layla, boxing echo, undefeated pro. Sons Muhammad Jr., Assad, circle forms, hands link like prayer chains. Room? Sanctuary. Islamic verses murmur low, Quran passages soothe. Ali's Sunni faith, embrace 75, post-nation schism, an anchor in storm. No press pierces, alias shields, David Jones on charts, privacy's final punch. Outside, world hums oblivious. Tweet trend is 70s fire, oblivious to the flicker. Thursday, June 2nd, pivot to peril. Fair fractures, critical, whispers confirm. Sepsis surges, immune storm ravages. Lungs flood, kidneys seize, liver bows out. Ventilators hum heroic, but body's tide turns. Lonnie, steel and sorrow. Here's plain, won't improve. No hysteria, decades of drafts, diagnoses, 64 name change firestorms forge her calm. Calls ripple. Family jets converge. Rahman, brother, shadow sparring partner. Distant kin from Philly to Phoenix. Friends hover halls. John Ramsey, Louisville loyalist, summoned by Lonnie's quiet plea, lingers waiting area, respecting the veil. Very private. He nods later, sacred space, no intrusion. Inside, circle tightens, 9 children, biological, adopted, form fortress. Hannah, voice steady through tears, clasps his hand. The greatest palm, once listing crusher, now cool still. Maria murmurs salawat, praise on the prophet, faith's soft shield. Rashida, journal and lap, scribes silent vows. Layla, warrior echo, presses forehead to his, twin legacies locking. Monitors wail warnings. Oxygen dips, pressure plummets. Air thickens with dua. Islamic pleas weaving like Manila mist. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To God we belong, to him we return. No outsiders, even imams wait wings. Ali's chest rises ragged. Shallow sips of air, each a skirmish won by sheer spite. Skin pales translucent, veins mapping marathons past. Eyes closed gentle, as if dreaming Zaire sunsets or Atlanta flames. Tremors quiet now. Parkinson's last irony, stillness and storm. Friday, June 3rd. Dawn breaks indifferent, but room's vigil deepens. Sepsis claims ground. Multi-organ cascade. Lungs surrender, kidneys cascade failure. Liver whispers halt. Machines multiply. Tubes snake, pumps pulse futile. Doctors confer grave. Irreversible. Lonnie nods, steel cracking faint. 33 years her champion, from 86 vows to 16 shadows. Calls complete. All kin converge, grandkids peak, then retreat. Friends form outer ring. Kevin Cosby, pastor confidant. Lena Horne echoes in spirit. No frenzy. Reverence reigns. Quranic recitations low. Like 64 presser rhymes turn prayer. Ali endures. Heart, that Fraser thrashing engine, defies. 30 minutes post-organ eclipse, it thumps steady. Not flicker, but fight. Hannah later pens, his heart wouldn't stop beating. Testament to his spirit's strength. Willpower's whisper. 75, Sunni shifts grace. 67 draft stand still. 9:10 p.m. Mountain Time. Bell tolls silent. Heart yields, not defeat, release. No gasp, no struggle. Just hush, as if floating final butterfly. Family in circles. Hands clasp his lips brush forehead. Kisses of "We love you, Dad. Go to God, greatest." Chant press soft. "You can go now. We'll be okay." Tears flow free. Hannah's quiet resolve. Layla's warrior sob. Room? Prayer woven cocoon. Imam Zaid Shakir's final words. Per some accounts, a salawat seal. Gunnel confirms. Septic shock. Natural close. No suffering, just surrender. Outside, world fractures. Tickers blaze. Ali dead at 74. Trends eclipses. Presidents eulogize Clinton. Voice of courage. Foes mourn Foreman. Part of me slipped. Nations pause Pelé. Sporting universe lost huge. Louisville dims lights. Murals bloom overnight. But inside, sacred hush. Family's vigil. No leaks, just love's last rounds. Postbell. Legacy's procession. Body flies home. 3 off-duty Louisville officers escort. Alias veil, lifted for final fanfare. Wheels down. Streets swell. Flowers carpet boulevards. Tears mix with cheers. June 10th, KFCM. Center. 15,000 packed pews. Clinton orates conviction. Crystal quips joy. Gumble honors heart. Private Thursday vigil seals intimate. Public Friday celebrates open. Principles of peace. Perlani. Open to all races, faiths. Route loops Grand Avenue, boyhood home. Ollie Boulevard. 23 miles of murmurs, hands waving like 64 title flags. Cave Hill Cemetery. Shade-draped plot. Casket simple. Eternal rest beside roses, under Kentucky oaks. Flags half-mast global. Twitter trends 12 hours. Facebook days. Mariam reflects. Happy he's no longer struggling. God the greatest. Spirit? Eternal. Center thrives. Torch passes Layla. Hannah's words wing. Rumble in heaven as on earth. Muhammad Ali's last hours? Not defeat. Dignity's draw. Sepsis stole breath, but spirit stung eternal. Heart's 30-minute stand. Family's whispered release. Legacy's unbroken rope. The greatest didn't fall. He transcended from ring to realm, proving service to others his knockout creed. Changes how you see those old fights, right? What's your final word to the greatest? Drop it below. I read every one, and the deepest might echo in our next chapter. If this moved you, like, share with a fellow fighter, and subscribe for more tales of the famous. Next, another legend's last light. Until then, float eternal, sting forever. One love. Peace.